The Saturday games. We're starting off with Dragons Rabbitohs. Now this one, very entertaining game to watch. Came down to the wire, and who else but Jamie Humphries to kick the winning field goal. I just hope everyone watching this video did buy him this week, because I can't see him getting dropped anytime soon, and oh boy, his game is so fantasy relevant. You've got the 700 kick meters from last week backed up by 647 this week, which is just massive. Now, I wouldn't be expecting that to stay like that. I'd be predicting somewhere closer to 300 or 400, but if I'm just looking for Cody Walker here, 0 kick meters for Cody Walker, so it's Humphries or nothing at this point, it seems. And yeah, if you don't own him, he's going to be sitting at, almost 500k. And at that point, that's probably being priced at around 39. I'm not sure. I think he'll be one I have to look into later in the week to work out whether he's still a buy or not, because yes, he's going to continue making quick money, but will it be enough in the long run? If you do trade him in at that price, is he going to be able to average, those high 40s, but to make it worth the trade? So yeah, I think one to definitely not rule out of buying, just even though his price is going to be so much higher. I would still have him as an option to bring in, even though it would be just absolute pain that you've missed out on him. Anyway, moving on. Jaden Sewer, 71 pointer here. A lot of base, 150 run meters and 37 tackles. That's quite a lot for him, but that balances his average out to about what he's priced at, that sort of 50 to 52 range. So yeah, I wouldn't be chasing that. He's going to average around those low 50s where there's not really much value in him there. Gutherson, 66 in the 80 minutes. Very impressive score. That takes his average. It sort of evens it out after last week as well. And yeah, obviously a lot of attacking stats in this game. 2 try assists, 2 line breaks. Decent run meters, but yeah, just too expensive, and he's not going to be able to do that every week. Dragons have the bye next week as well, which is going to be the case. I'm waiting on basically all the Dragons players here, but Gutherson, one to just let go. I would just be ignoring him for most of the season unless he drops to a price with a 4 in front of it. Sean Keppie, probably the highest score of his career, 64 points in 64 minutes. Arrow had 2 HIAs and Tallis Duncan got injured, so he definitely covered extra minutes here. Also got the try. This will not be happening every week, so I would basically be ignoring him here. He's more of a 30 points in 40 minutes kind of guy. And now that he's boosted his price by 30k, there's going to be even less value in him. So yeah, one I'd definitely be ignoring. Now Jack DeBellin, 60 points in 60 minutes. He's done well there, but with his historic PPM, I think you'd be wanting him to get around that 65 minutes or more. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to score a 1 PPM consistently, and at his price, I don't think there's enough value to be looking to jump on. But definitely someone that's worth a second look here, just to sort of, if we can try and work out how many minutes he's going to be playing, if it could push up to 65 to 70, we know he's a good option, as in 2023 he was banging out a very high 50s, low 60s average. But yeah, bye next week, so just keep an eye on him, I would say. Mamazelis, 60 pointer, got the try, got the 80 minutes due to the injuries. We love that. I would say everyone watching should be owning him. And yeah, happy days. Hopefully you started him in your scoring 17. I managed to do it, so yeah, it was very pleasing watching him dive over for that Burrow kind of try. And yeah, one to probably, going forward, I'd probably be looking to start him in your scoring 17. You've just got that sort of safety of 55 to 80 minutes. He won't be doing the 80 every week, but yeah, solid base of tackles there. And now that we've seen, he's also picked up a try assist, but we've seen that he's willing to try his luck close to the line, which is always good to see from a hooker. So yeah, very happy with Peter. Toby Couchman, another big minute game, another high PPM game, and he is one to seriously consider to be at the top of your watch list. A 58 average at the moment. He's going to rise by another 30k, so he's going to be priced at maybe that 580 mark. Why is it doing that? Oh, here we go. 595 even. Geez, that seems a bit much, but if he is going to be continuing to get minutes like this, he's someone to seriously consider. And the thing is, I think they had another player get injured here. We'll quickly have a look. Laurie got barely any minutes for some reason. I'm not sure if he got injured. Fatala Mariner getting barely any minutes as well. Little. The fact that Little and Cook are barely on the field at the same time is concerning. Sully only played the 63, so maybe an extra 10 minutes here for Couchman, but even if he just got the 50 minutes and was averaging around 50 points, he would still be someone to look to be buying in round 4. Mid-edge duel as well. Just solid as you get. 45 tackles, 160 run meters. So yeah, put him at the top of your watch list for round 4. Tyrell Sloan started on the wing here, got 2 tries, decent run meters, but already priced at his fullback average, and he just won't be averaging that 40 on the wing, in my opinion. So yeah, one to just let through to the keeper there. Tuipulotu backed up his hat trick with a 1 try 58. Heaps of run meters as well. He does look like he's in a bit of a purple patch here, but the only way is down, in my opinion. There's no way it's just impossible for him to keep up this average. He's going to rise by 50k here, probably rise a bit more next week, but after the bye, but definitely one that you've just missed the bus on here, and one that's very hard to predict when wingers are going to score tries and get big scores, but he's definitely due for some low games based on his historic average. So yeah, strong avoid. Jai Gray, another really strong game, got the try. 300 run meters is crazy, but I just without the try, he'd just be averaging, or he just would have scored around what he's priced at, and I think he's just one that's too expensive to be looking at. If Latrell was out for longer, maybe it would be a different story, but the fact that he's 99% going to be dropped from the team when Latrell's back in around round 7, round 8, he's just one I would not be looking at all. Gula, wow, another 50-point game. He scored 47 last week, but he's getting some solid minutes and he's maintaining a good PPM. The run meters are a bit concerning here, only 49, but he's got 2 offloads here, a lot of tackles, and yeah, one that is quite interesting. One thing to note here though is that now the Dragons have signed David Clemmer, so he could definitely come in and steal 40 minutes off the bench instead of a Fatala Mariner just playing the 20. So yeah, I think Gula's just one that has had a few more inflated minutes for the first 2 games and definitely not as reliable going forward. So one to watch, but yeah, just give it a week and we'll see how they line up in round 4. Lockie Hubner, what a legend this guy. Unfortunately benched him in my emergencies. Just not really sure what his PPM was going to be like, and it seemed like he would get a few less minutes today, and he did with just the 51 minutes, and that was with a few injuries as well, so it could have been lower. But the sad thing is he is suspended for 2 weeks now for a crusher tackle in the 2nd minute of the game, I believe, and so basically he's going to be make you a solid 40-50k here, and then you're going to have him as a red dot for the next 2 weeks. I would say he is 100% a hold. Even though Aitken's coming back, he is definitely worth the hold for the next 2 weeks. You can use him to loop. And if your team doesn't have any other problems, he's an easy hold. See what his role is when he gets back in round 5, and yeah, because he definitely still has potential to make more money. His break even will be almost probably in the negatives, and even if he's playing 20 to 30 minutes off the bench, he'll still make another 20 to 30k, which is definitely important at this time of the season. If you do have a few more issues like Hosking injured as well, if you had Matt Burton or Vil Kickow, which is a bit more unlikely, I would look to sell those guys first as they're out for longer, and Hubner just being that low value kind of guy, he's not really worth selling, especially when it's only 2 weeks. So yeah, I would be looking to hold under all circumstances here. Damien Cook didn't play the 80 again, just 45 and 67 minutes. No negative stats here, but he is just, while he's playing these minutes, he's completely irrelevant, and we're hoping basically for him to drop into the 600s. Somehow Little disappears, and if Cook's playing the 80 minutes, he'll be a screaming buy. So until then, ignore Damien Cook. Kyle Flanagan, 2 tries, 45 points. Obviously not going to score that every week, and yeah, just straight up avoid. I don't have too much to say about him, but yeah, doesn't have the base, just tackles, and that's about it. I think didn't kick at all. These are run meters here, so yep, no kick meters. I would be strongly avoiding. Hamish Stewart, huge game here, huge PPM game, 45 and 32 minutes. Got the try assist. I thought he had this will be the offload here. He's going to be making money, and he is one to also put on your watch list for round 4 if he maintains his spot. I think he's someone to look at. The problem is he probably will only be around that 30-minute mark, so you could assume maybe he'll score you that 30 points in 30 minutes. So it's going to be debatable whether he's still worth buying at that point. 324k. That's probably priced in like the low 20s. So there may not be enough value to jump on him at that point, which is unfortunate, but one to just watch and have a think about in round 4 as well. Elias, 39 and 80 minutes, fairly standard. He had a big load of kick meters like Humphreys here, but didn't really do much else. Got a try assist, making his tackles. One for another year where we probably would have owned him if there was less cheapy halves, but he's going to make his money. There was probably about 8 points of value on him here, but yeah, one we're just not going to be able to own due to the value of halves or the amount of halves we've got in our team. So yeah, we'll just have to ignore him there. The early buy didn't help as well. Val Holmes, after a big one last week, just a 37. You're going to expect that with Holmes. He's got that nice sort of safe floor with the goal kicking there, so he shouldn't score more than or less than low 30s for you. But yeah, just if you own him, hold tight there. You're in for a long ride, or you're in it for the long run, I should say. And if you don't own him, just ignore him. Don't look to buy. If I was buying a centre, it would most certainly be Dylan Lucas or Beau Fermor, and no one else. In terms of gun centres, Luciano Leilua, 34 and 80 minutes. Wow, he's really fallen off a cliff these past few years. I remember owning him back in when he played for the Tigers, playing 80 minutes on an edge, and he was averaging very close to 50. But yeah, I guess he may have not played the 80 usually if there wasn't some injuries. Sully going off, that may have caused it. But yeah, one to just leave for now. He's definitely not in fantasy point scoring form at the moment, but one to keep an eye on for sure. Moale, improvement on last week, but still just 33 points in 45 minutes. You'd be expecting a few more points in those minutes normally, but yeah, one to just leave for now. His break even's still going to be high. His price will be most likely bottom out around the 390k. But if we see him get a couple of high 40s minutes games back to back, he'd be one to start looking at if his PPM is sort of up around that 0.9 mark, but yeah, just currently one to leave for now and see how he goes. Cody Walker, 31 and 80 minutes with a try, doing no kicking at all, pretty low run meters. He's just got no base, and at that price, he's someone you just want to completely ignore for now. He is a patchy kind of player though, or sort of like a streaky player, so if he does get on a roll, he could be one to look at, but without those kick meters in his base, he's definitely one to avoid for now. Campbell Graham, likewise, avoid for now. He's dropping cash. He's still, fresh off that injury, getting back into the swing of things. Easy, just watch his price fall, and if you see him coming into a bit of form, could be one to look at, around Origin period. Kolomatangi crashing back down to earth with a 28 after a score in the 60s last week, I think. That's going to happen with him on the edge. He's going to be more of an up and down guy rather than those consistent scores at lock last year. And at his price, he is just one to ignore for now. Hopefully, if he moves into play some lock during the season, he could be one to look at, but his edge average isn't too good. It's around 48, 49 points, and if I did own him, I would possibly be looking to sell. If you don't have Payne Haas, I'd be looking to move him onto Payne Haas pretty urgently, I would say. Totola, just the 28 and 31 minutes. He's still coming back from an injury as well, so could be on a little bit of a minutes restriction there. One to just ignore for now. Worry about him later. Jai Arrow had the first HIA and passed, and then came back and got a second HIA, which is an automatic. You cannot return. Even if you pass the second HIA, you can't come back. So, yeah, a few extra minutes for Kepi here in that case. I think Moali could have also picked up a few extra minutes there as well from that. But yeah, Arrow his score in week 1 was quite good, so his break even was pretty low. But yeah, Arrow's just one I wouldn't be looking at right now. He's too expensive to be taking a punt on here, and with Aitken coming back, he could be moving back into the middle. So yeah, keep an eye on round 3 lineup for that. Suli, I'm not too sure what happened here. Maybe a hamstring, but he's gone off injured. Still not sure what happened here, but yeah, just can ignore him. Blake Laurie, just 23 and 18 minutes, pretty irrelevant, not worth looking at all. Same story as Havili, not gonna be doing much off the bench there. Little, only the 30 minutes at hooker, scored at a good PPM, but 700k. If you do somehow own him, 0.3%. I'd be as soon as the app lockout lifts, I would be selling him to any gun that is in the starting 13, because yeah, as long as he's coming off the bench, it's actually quite puzzling. I really think he should be coming on in the first half. 30 minutes into the game, I think he'd be very effective at that point, and probably just playing out the game, so playing 50 minutes, but yeah, just not to be. So hopefully we can pick him up at a really cheap price if Cook goes down, but we'll just have to wait and see. Isaiah Tash, just the 21 and 80 minutes, typical winger score when they don't do much. Even at that cheap price, he's definitely not a buy, and if you do own him, a few people do, I'd be a little bit concerned, and you could look at moving him down to Stafford Toa. That's probably what I'd be looking to do. But he's also probably fine to hold, but it's not very fun. Tellis Duncan got injured here. I believe it was a hammy, so it sounds like he's already been confirmed to be out this week. So yeah, if I did own him, I'd be selling, and we need to look at who's potentially going to get an uptick in minutes here. We'll look at that later on in the week, but yeah, unfortunate for Tellis Duncan. Definite sell, I would say. Even if he's out for just a couple of weeks there, he's not really one that's going to be making money, so I'd be looking to jump off onto someone who is going to make money. Fatala Mariner, very irrelevant, just 20 minutes. Completely ignore him. The debutant Bentley Harpe, just the 16 points in 80 minutes. I think he'll be out of the side this week with who's coming back. Whiten will be coming back, and Myers might move to the wing there. And then we've got Myers as well, 14 points, huge avoid. He's not kicking goals now, so like he was last season, priced at what he was averaging last season. So yeah, just don't even go there. And Jaden Sullivan, 11 off the bench, let his price fall. And yeah, that'll do us. Just a bit of irrelevant guys down the bottom. I wouldn't be looking at them at all. Alright, catch you in the next video.